In this video, I'm going to tell you my story of rheumatoid arthritis. It only started a few months ago. We were getting ready to go for spring break to visit my oldest daughter who was studying abroad in Costa Rica. And a few days before we left, I woke up in the middle of the night with just aches and pains in my hands and my wrists and my feet. That next morning when I got out of bed, I could barely put weight on the balls of my feet. Throughout the day, it started getting a little better. The next night, same thing happened. I woke up in the middle of the night, and now it wasn't only my hands and my wrists that were hurting. I could feel the balls of my feet also, but it was my knees, and that is when I knew something was going on with me. The next morning, I could barely walk down the steps. I couldn't use my hands on the railings, and my knees were too painful to walk down the stairs. So I was literally using my forearms as crutches, taking me down the banister. I called to try to get in and see my doctor. There were no appointments. They wanted me to go to urgent care, but with the trip 2 days away, I decided to wait. Got on the plane, went to Costa Rica, and while I was in Costa Rica, it only got worse and worse. Every night at around 4 a.m. in the morning, I would wake up in excruciating pains. My hands and my wrists were the worst. My hands were so painful that I had to get some Coban and wrap my hands and wrists in order to sleep. Any movement or motion at all would cause so much pain. This went on the whole week while we were in Costa Rica. I'm in Punta Arenas, Costa Rica, waiting for the ferry, the car ferry, to take us over to Paquera so we can go to Montezuma, our first stop on our trip. But by midday, I was able to do the activities that we went there to do with my family. I did some snorkeling and swimming. We did some hikes. I took pictures and videos. And come 4 a.m. again, I'd be laying in bed with tears in my eyes. So when we left to come home, it was early in the morning. I had to fill out all the forms for COVID, and I could barely grasp the pen in my hand. It hurt so bad to write. I know my handwriting's bad, but it literally looked like a kindergartner filled out these forms. By the time we made it back to San Francisco, it was after midnight, and I could not push my tray table up and turn the lever to lock it in place. I was devastated. I felt the life I knew and that I love, it was just washed away in an instant. For me, this happened literally overnight. One day, I was perfectly fine. That night, I had pain and woke up with pain. And from there on out, it only got worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, how am I going to ever write book number 2 for Wildflower? How am I going to ever hold my heavy camera and take photos again? How am I going to travel the world? How am I going to go to India, where I've always wanted to go, and take pictures of the beautiful colors and people? So I made it to the summit. I'm at 4,650 meters. And woodworking. How will I bring a dead piece of wood back to life? And from now on, I'm still going to do videos for my YouTube channel on things that I'm still doing with rheumatoid arthritis. Hiking and kayaking and backpacking and all that fun stuff that I love so much. So if you want to see what all is possible with rheumatoid and hear more of my personal rheumatoid stories, including my treatment regimen, then hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more stories on how rheumatoid arthritis will not stop me from doing the things I love.